I have lived in my village for over 60 years, but what I'm about to tell you is something I will never forget. It happened when I was much younger, a curious boy who always wanted to know what lay beyond the ordinary. I had heard the old men whisper about it, the market that only opens at midnight. They said it was not for the living. They said those who went there never returned the same. But I did. It all started one dry season. My uncle, Baba Ojo, a wise and respected man, warned me and my friends never to wander too far into the forest at night. There are things in this world that do not concern the living, he would say. But the more he warned us, the more my curiosity grew. So, one fateful night, I decided to see for myself if the tales were true. That night, the moon was bright, casting long shadows on the ground. I sneaked out of my mother's hut and made my way toward the forbidden part of the forest. My heart pounded in my chest, but I kept going. The night air was strangely silent. No crickets, no hooting owls, just an eerie stillness. Then, just as the old men had said, I saw it. A bright light flickered ahead, deeper in the forest. My legs felt heavy with fear, but I forced myself forward. Then, suddenly, I stepped into a clearing, and there it was. A market, but not just any market. The stalls were made of woven palm fronds, glowing lanterns hung from trees, and a strange, sweet-smelling smoke filled the air. People moved about, their feet making no sound on the ground. They were dressed in old, tattered clothes, yet they carried gold, silver, and strange items I had never seen before. But something was wrong, something I didn't understand at first. Then I looked closer. These were not ordinary people. Their eyes glowed dimly, their fingers were too long, and their feet barely touched the ground. Some had faces that seemed to shift, changing from young to old in the blink of an eye. My body turned cold. The stories were true. This was a market for spirits. I wanted to run, but my legs wouldn't move. A woman selling cowries turned to me and smiled, showing sharp, pointed teeth. "What do you wish to buy, child of the living?" she asked in a voice that sounded like the wind through dry leaves. I shook my head, unable to speak. "Then why have you come?" Another vendor, an old man with hollow eyes, asked. "Do you wish to trade?" He stretched out his hand, and in his palm lay a single kola nut, black as the night. "Eat this, and you will never be hungry again," he said. I had heard of this. The old men in the village said that whatever you accept in the midnight market will bind you to the spirit world forever. If I took that kola nut, I would never find my way back home. I stepped away, shaking my head. "I must go," I whispered. "You cannot leave without giving something in return," a deep voice growled behind me. I turned and saw a tall figure cloaked in darkness. His eyes burned like fireflies in the night. My throat went dry. I have nothing to give," I stammered. The spirits laughed, a chilling sound that made my skin crawl. "Then you must stay," the dark figure said, stepping closer. Desperation took hold of me. I fell to my knees and pleaded, "Please let me go. I was foolish to come here. I do not belong." For a long moment there was silence. Then the woman with sharp teeth stepped forward. She studied me with those glowing eyes and then turned to the others. "He is young, let him return, but he must never speak of this place." The others murmured, some displeased, but they did not stop her. She reached into her basket and pulled out a handful of white powder. She blew it toward me and the world around me spun. I closed my eyes, feeling my body being pulled backward. When I opened my eyes, I was lying at the edge of the forest, the first light of dawn stretching across the sky. I scrambled to my feet and ran home, my heart racing. I never spoke of what I saw until now, because the market still exists. And sometimes when the wind is just right, I can still hear the whispers of traders calling out their strange goods, waiting for another curious soul to stumble upon their world. So, if you ever find yourself deep in the forest at midnight and you see lights flickering in the distance, turn around, walk away. Some markets are not meant for the living. Do you have any experience like this? Or have you heard of a story like this one? Please share your experience at the comment section, and please motivate us by subscribing to this channel to bring you more interesting African folk tales. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video.